Next section is challenges and misconceptions. So, what are some common misconceptions about mind heart coherence?
Mm. Um, Misconceptions, I would say that people think that, all of this doesn't work. It's just motivation that drives you. You just need to be strong, just set your mind to it and do it. All of that external forces, basically.
Mm.
People think that it's nothing is internal. Whenever you heal, things tend to get worse. Whenever I listen to my heart, things tend to get worse. That is a misconception. That is a big misconception, because you're not trusting your heart. You're going flowing with your emotions. That is a
Yeah.
bad thing. I think if I don't know if anyone has seen Inside Out 2. I don't want to ruin it for everyone, but the key thing to learn from there is your emotions don't control you. You choose your emotions. There is a very beautiful scene where the kid is calling one of the emotions. Like she's choosing, even the shitty situation is there, but she's choosing to have that, feel that emotion. So don't flow away with your emotions. Don't feel, curse your heart or curse yourself for having these emotions. Emotions are very powerful. Trust in yourself. The whole point of this world, the whole point of you having that inner strength, having to go through challenges, or even in the healing journey when things get tough, I feel people think healing is like, oh, I'll just breathe a little bit one day and then the next day I'm
Yeah.
healed. I'm a super. It doesn't happen like that. The more you heal, the more things will start unraveling for you. It's like a bucket, okay? Bucket may there's a lot of dirty water. All right.
Yeah.
And when you start pouring clear water onto it, now all of that dirt doesn't disappear. It comes up to the surface. Comes up, comes up, comes up, comes up, comes up. Then it overflows, and then you're still continuing to pour that clear water, and then the bucket is pristine. That is exactly what happens in healing. When you
Yes.
start pouring all of this pure life energy, pure way of being, pure way of thinking, all of that, it is going to bring the gunk deep inside you that you have buried and avoided for years. It's going to come up, okay? I'm not going to promise you all like Wonderland story. It will come up, but it will
Well,
never come back. That is the beauty of it. It will come up and it will get lost. It will not come back. And that is your inner strength. That is your self discipline. That is your commitment to yourself. So that is one of the misconceptions, that coherence is just like snapping your fingers and you're like done and set for life. No, it is a day to day process. It is a process that you choose to do every day. It is a state that you choose to be in every single day. And it definitely gets easier. That I can tell you. At first, when you sit down to do it, you're like, oh, I have to do this. Oh, I don't know how I'm going. It feels uncomfortable when you learn something new. But then it becomes bodily memory. So now, whenever I'm stressed, also automatically I'm just like, I don't know when my hand goes to my nose and I'm breathing, so that my parasympathetic nervous system gets activated and I start relaxing. This is one thing that you can do for calming yourself down also. Closing your right nostril and just breathing through the left. So
yeah,
that will relax you further. So it does get easier for sure, but it's not an overnight process.
true. So, what challenges might someone face when trying to achieve mind heart coherence, and how can they overcome them?
One of the challenges is that there will be a lot of changes in your life, because the way we are, right, that people are used to that version of you, right? They used to see you talk in a certain way, they used to interacting you with a certain way. So suddenly when you change and you're making better decisions or making different choices, people are perplexed. Some people will be like, "Arey, wow, very nice." Some people will be like, what are you doing? Yeah, why are you doing that? So when I was making videos, one of my neighbors was like, why are you doing that? Are you not working hard? So, there is judgment, and there is a lot of people who are like, wow, I'm seeing your videos and I can't tell you how much it's helped me.
Yes.
So there will be all kinds of reactions. Your challenge is to not get swayed by either of them. I am going to do what I'm going to do. I am going to do what feels exactly aligned with me. And
Yes.
when you keep doing that, when that is when you become unshakable. So I'm actually writing a book also that is called Unshakable You, and it's a lot to do with this mind and heart coherence of how you overcome these challenges that come your way.
Mm.
And it's not easy, but it's definitely possible, and it only comes from you giving yourself the self assurance, you acknowledging yourself for the changes that you're making, you acknowledging, connecting with a higher power, you connecting that, you knowing that you are on a path for a reason. When you have a very strong reason for doing something, no, that is bigger than you. For example, me making videos or something is not just so that I can get famous, or it's not for that. It's so that my message, even what we're doing right here, it's not just so
Yes.
that we can have a chat. It's for us to connect, and for us to our conversation to connect with as many people as possible. So
Yes.
that mission is higher. So when the mission is higher, when the intention is higher, you start showing up bigger. Your actions are also bigger, and they're more effortless. So set better intentions. Acknowledge yourself, be very grateful for where you are, and set bigger intentions that are in the highest good for you and for everyone else. And
Yes.
be calm. Whatever happens, let it be. As long as you know where you're going, that's all that matters. Don't take shortcuts. Don't take, all of these side lanes. Have you seen sometimes when you take a shortcut, you're like, oh, I'll go in and I'll reach there faster. But then your car gets stuck and you face more problems and you take more time to get to your destination than you would have got just knowing the route that you usually take and you're like,
Yeah.
so
True.
stick to your path.
Agreed. Beautifully explained, Nidhi. Thank you. Okay. Next is integration into daily life. So, how can someone incorporate mind heart coherence practices into their daily routine?
First thing is start when you wake up in the morning itself. So,
Mm.
first, mentally, what is your first waking thought? That is important for you to note down. A lot of us wake up thinking, oh my God, what is my to do list? Your to do list cannot be your first waking thought. That is again taking away from being. You're doing
Mm.
before you're even being. So, who are you choosing to be? What are you choosing to accept about life first thing in the morning? When you go to sleep, think a beautiful thought and aspire to wake up to that thought in the morning.
Mm.
Start with visualizing your day the night before itself. Don't
Yes.
just expect the day to kind of unravel on its own. And you set, I'm telling you, you choose how you want your day to go, but don't get too attached to the way it will happen. So suppose it doesn't go the way you thought or you visualized it would, also okay, but that doesn't mean that you don't visualize it, you don't set the tone for it.
Yes.
Before you go to sleep, you visualize the day before. When you wake up in the morning, have a beautiful thought, have a you can use gratitude itself. I am
Yes.
supremely blessed for being alive. I am so happy for this beautiful day. I know I'm going to learn so much. I know I'm going to be very happy. I choose to be happy. Whatever you want to say to yourself,
Yeah.
there is no script. It comes from your heart. Let your heart speak those words. They will be very authentic to you. So work on your first waking thought, and then the next thing that you can do is have like a morning routine. Because the body is a big component of just regulating your mind. When you cannot catch hold of your mind, you catch hold of the body. Then the mind also will follow, and vice versa. When you catch
Yes.
hold of the mind, then the body will follow. So sometimes when your mind is racing too much, you catch hold of the body, you start stretching in the morning. Start elongating, start stretching. When you go to sleep, start stretching in the morning. All of your nerves, all of the tension that is just stuck in those nerves, they get released. And when
Yes.
you relax yourself, when your nervous system, again, it all comes back to the nervous system. I can talk about this nervous system for eternity, I think. But yeah, it's just the more you relax your nerves, the more capable you are of handling whatever situation is in front of you, whoever it is, whatever it is. Your mind, your heart, your body, your motor skills, everything is connected by this nervous system, and it will
Yes.
function effortlessly. That's it. How hard is it for people to do?
Yeah.
Right? Simple.
But set some routine, right? People and be disciplined for that then.
Yes, absolutely.
People need motivation. Motivation is the temporary thing. I think be disciplined.
Yeah.
That is more.
It's very fleeting, you know. Everybody watches motivation videos. That's their only motivation. That is their, they feel like, yeah, I'm charged. Then stay for 1 hour and then you're like, I'm feeling worse than I did before because now I haven't even done the thing that I have to do. So, not motivation, focus on inspiration, not motivation.
Yes. Okay. Next is, are there any tips for maintaining mind-heart coherence throughout the day, especially during stressful situations? Some tips.
One thing is diet, okay? And by diet, I don't just mean the food that you're eating, I'm talking about your mental diet as well. What are
Mm.
the things that you are consuming? If you look at your phone, if you look at your YouTube, I can tell you what kind of person you are itself. I mean, what state you are in. If it's all bad news just floating 24 hours 7, then what are you trying to do? You're trying to be prepared for the worst. You're trying to know what all the brashtachar that is happening in the world. You want to be prepared for it. You want to talk about it 24 hours 7. And that is what your mind is focusing on. So when your mind is focusing on all of that, then your body is also going to have that kind of response only. Huh? It is not directly happening to you, but you see something happening somewhere else and you are feeling that agitation right here. So cleanse whatever your social media is, detox, go on a social media detox if you need, or just unsubscribe from these channels that are giving you more anxiety. For
Yeah.
to be honest, I used to watch true crime documentaries when I was before all of that. I don't know what kick I used to get out of watching all kinds of horrific stuff happen because I was preparing for the worst. I'm like, oh, if I know what happens, then I can be smart and then I can escape. No, if something bad needs to happen, bad will find a way to happen. If then I get paralyzed. You get paralyzed in fear. And forget that happening. I'm getting paralyzed in fear right now as I'm watching it. So how am I being prepared? I'm preparing myself to freeze. So you have to be very clear about the things that you're hearing from people, that the content that you're consuming, the conversations, the self talk that you are having with yourself. All of this is your mental diet. So even in a stressful situation, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? No, what can be done? I'm not good enough. Change, I'm not good enough to, okay, this process, this technique has failed. What other thing can be done? Don't make everything personal. Don't make, because when you attach it, when you associate it with yourself, no, you shrink as a person, your aura, whatever, your capacity as a person shrinks because now you believe that you can only do this much. You're not good enough. So, you can only hold this much. But when you believe that, okay, you know what, it's not me, it's the process that I used was not right, then you'll have the capacity to like reroute and do something else and work. And that is how success is built. Success is not someone had a great one idea and then they just made it. They made multiple ideas, they learned from each of them, but they kept going. They kept going because they didn't internalize it. When you internalize something, when you become a victim, when you think that I'm not good enough, then you stop because you lose hope. And when you lose hope in yourself, then no sweet talk from anyone else, no amount of motivation from anyone else is going to make a difference in your life. This is why people are procrastinating. You're not procrastinating because you're bored, you're procrastinating because the task in front of you, you don't like and you somehow fear the task. So you don't even want to put yourself in the task because it reminds you of the feeling that I'm not good enough. So stop
Mm.
associating the outcome with yourself. Just see it
True.
for what it is. That's it. That is the best way to address a challenge when stressed.
True. Thank you. So next section is future directions. So what do you see as the future of research and practice in the field of mind-heart coherence?
There's this brilliant institute called Heart Math Institute, and they are working, they are doing a lot of scientific research on this very topic. And it's associated with amazing scientists like Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden. So there is research going on, but the research is not way too public because there are a lot of monopolies that will go out of business if people start healing themselves, right? So there's in the scientific industry also, the whole funding scene, what kind of research is published, All of that is a little dicey. It's not easy to get funding for these kind of projects, but it starts with community awareness. When more people start talking about it, people are forced to do more research about it. People then will have more volunteers coming up and testing and trying these kind of these techniques and all of that. So what I am planning to do in the future also, I don't know how it will pan out, but being a scientist, being a molecular biologist, I will definitely go back to the research angle of my life, but it will be on this very thing. It will be based on mind and heart coherence, and it will come with research of how many people it has helped. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, all the best. It will help many also. All the best to you, Nidhi.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Welcome. So next is how can individuals stay informed about new developments and advancements in this area?
I would say follow HeartMath Institute. They keep releasing a lot of newsletters, and they keep giving updates and articles upon this very topic. So they have a ebook also that is talks about that the research that has published in journals, also peer reviewed journals. So subscribe, you can subscribe to them. And yeah, and then I also keep talking about it. I have to keep talking about it a little more, to be honest. I've been I've not been using the terms mind and heart coherence too much, because there's not too much awareness about it. But then the whole point that we're here is to raise awareness about it, so I will be talking more about that also. But do
Hmm.
follow Heart Math Institute. Yeah.
Now you can do it more after this podcast launch.
Yes.
Thank you, Nidhi. Okay. So next section is expert advice. So what advice would you give to someone just starting their journey towards achieving mind-heart coherence?
I think first thing is, again, comes back to having a routine, because any sort of technique, any sort of coherence, all of that requires that commitment. Okay, requires that self discipline, and self discipline only comes from forming healthy habits. So
Hmm.
you have to make it a habit of doing something good, something healthy for yourself, whether that's exercise or whether that's eating good food. Suddenly if you ask a person to change everything about their lives, it feels very very chaotic for them, and it's not very long lasting. They'll do it for 1 or 2 days and they're like, "Ah, I'm tired. I'll go back to my old life. It's easier." So the way I take people through it also is a step by step process. Suddenly I'm not going to change everything about your life. What you can do right now, just sitting in your home, is right now plan a routine for yourself. What is going to be your morning routine? What is going to be your night routine? Once
Yes.
you start doing that morning night routine, you are already in that frame of mind of, I'm committed, I am self disciplined. So when you are in that frame of mind, then you are more accepting of guidance from someone else also. Because what happens is people kind of window shop knowledge. They come to a person and they'll hear what you have to say, and they'll be like, ah, I don't know, I don't care, and it's a waste of time. I don't think for us also, as mentors, as coaches, it's we want to work with people who are very committed, because those
Committed.
are the people who will not only heal themselves, but they will go and they will spread that positive energy, and they will create a ripple effect with everyone else also. People who are
Yes.
not committed, not serious, they will drain your energy, and they will not create the impact that you really want to create. So as coaches, as mentors, the teacher also gets to select the student, no? So you have to
True.
be committed. You have to be committed, and then you will be more receiving, and you'll get more of whatever guidance we are sharing.
Hmm. True. I want to share something. I became more, I was good, but I think I became more disciplined when I became spiritual. When I started learning the
Mm.
science of spirituality, from few years back, that have made me very disciplined from my morning till night routine. And I am very much strict about what I'm consuming. Means what is not just eating, of course, like you said, mental diet, whom with the talk, who's your company, what you're eating,
Mm.
what you're thinking, what are your actions, like everything. And it happened with me at least after I became spiritual. I'm not sure others, but yeah, it has helped me a lot.
That is the point of, someone asked me what is the point of religion and all of that. Religion is not to sit and segregate between people and be like my god versus your god. There is no my god your god. God is not that petty as human beings to sit and discriminate between people. God is just God. God is, infinite. It's we who start comparing and start creating all of this chaos. The whole point of religion also, or spirituality, is to bring you into this code of conduct, into this mode of self discipline, where you are following these practices, where you are giving, opening yourself up to give, and also opening yourself up to receive. So it is that mental and physical and emotional cleansing that happens through this process of being self-disciplined and becoming spiritual. So that is the actually essence of, because every religion has its code of conduct. It has this, things that you follow. So that is the whole point of it. It's not that, oh, you, this is wrong, that is wrong. No, there are different ways of achieving the same destination. It just depends upon the way that you are following. Make sure that the way you're following is in the greatest good of all. That's it.
Yes.
So
And when we do this, it's for the higher purpose, right? So tastes,
absolutely.
we love it. Like it's look, we get like you are not on alcohol, but you're always high on coffee.
Yes. Very true. People are like, what are you high on? Why are you so energetic? I'm like, air. Just air. I'm happy all the time. I don't need alcohol. People will have tried to peer pressure me in life, being like, go get some. I'm like, why? I can have fun like this, and I can, control myself like this. I'm, as long as I have the ability to make a choice, because that is the most important thing in life. When do I want to be more extravagant? When do I want to go out all out? When do I want to be within myself? I want to be able to make that choice. When I'm having alcohol, I don't have no choice over it. It lets go of all the, it kind of blurs all the lines, and you lose control over your own system. So that's why I've never understood the appeal for it, but I understand other people's think that, I have inhibitions, I want to let go. But as you said, become spiritual. You won't need only that. Spirit is only enough. That spirit only will get you high. Your own spirit will get you high.
You always be high actually. You never get low after a few minutes of a day or like try it actually.
True.
I think this podcast should reach to many people. It will help many people actually.
Absolutely.
Okay. Next is Nidhi, like, are there any resources? Like, I think we were told, but let's ask again. So, are there any resources such as books, websites, or workshops that you recommend for learning more about mind heart coherence?
You can start off by reading the biology of belief by Bruce Lipton. So he is a stem cell scientist, and he's done very in depth research about how the environment that you're in, how the petri dish or how the culture medium in which you grow all of these cells, that determines the entire future of the destiny of those cells. So if you are struggling to believe that your beliefs do not matter, you have no control over your self, please go read that book. He will give you scientific evidence of how all the assumptions that are then becoming your beliefs are actually changing the internal environment inside of you. And when your internal environment changes, nervous system changes. When nervous system changes, your reaction changes. When your reaction changes, your world changes.
Hmm. Thank you. So, before closing thoughts, I want to ask one more question. Like, so what is the role of a soul when it's come to mind heart coherence? Does soul has a role to play?
Absolutely, soul is the driver. I always give this example. You know, if we have a car and we have a passenger sitting inside of it, the mind is the engine.
Hmm.
The body is the vehicle, the actual car thing, and this dashboard, this that is carrying you through. The
Hmm.
passenger is the soul, because it is the soul that decides where it wants to go, what experience it wants to have, what route it has already determined the best route. It is your GPS also. It has
Yes.
already determined the best route. But what
Hmm.
happens is we use too much of our brains, and then we start getting worried. Ki, oh, this is not enough, that is not enough, and then we take shortcuts, and then we we distract from the route that we have planned for ourselves. And then after all of this coherence and after healing yourself and all that, you come back to the right route and you start going in that smooth sailing. So the soul is your guidance system. It's your natural guidance system.
Mm.
It is who you are. It is the driver of your life. It is what is creating your life. And that it is just infinite. It is the infinite part of you, that is where your true power comes from. Its
Yes.
body is there today, it won't be there after a period of time, but the soul will always be there no matter what.
We are the
So that's
soul.
where, yeah, that is where, when we say we're invincible and we're indestructible, all of that it's referring to the spirit. It's referring to the soul,
It's a
which will
soul.
always live.
We think we are the body. That's the problem with us, and that's why we are attached.
Hmm.
When we are soul,
Yeah.
we become detached that time. It
Absolutely,
takes
because a lot of people are worried about aging also. Women are worried about aging. Oh my God, I want to beat aging. I'm starting to look older. And have you seen when you're stressed and all of that? No, you might be a very good-looking person. It shows on your face. It shows automatically. You start aging. But if you have a very healthy spirit, if you have a very healthy frame of mind, if you're in that coherent heart, mind, soul, everything is like perfect alignment. You actually go back in time, you
it,
start glowing, and people are like, what magic have you done? No makeup, no nothing needed. You wake up with that beauty and you feel young. You don't need Botox, you don't need surgery. It
yes,
just
it's an
starts with
aura.
you. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
an aura, sure. When people are magnetically attracted to you, they can't even
Yes.
describe why they're attracted to you, but they are, because they feel that. They
Yeah.
sense that from you.
True. Wow. This podcast was really deep, Nidhi. So we are to now closing thoughts. So, what final thoughts or messages would you like to share with our listeners about the importance of mind heart coherence?
you know this is life is beautiful. I would say that I could not say that before I truly connected with myself, before I truly understood that I am a soul, that I'm not a body, all of these things. Before I embarked on my healing journey, I was just more concerned about being a good person, helping people and all of that. And I couldn't help people, to be very honest. I couldn't help people without helping myself first.
Yes.
And what this entire healing journey, all of this mind heart coherence, is when you become so strong within you. You become that big wide tree that has grown its shoots and roots so deep, shoots so wide, that it can give shade to so many people just by its presence. Doesn't I don't have to yell, I don't have to coerce people, nothing I have to do. Whenever I go and meet people, they're just happy witnessing my presence, they're just happy being around me.
Yes.
And I'm helping way more people now than I did before, when I was anxious, when I was a mess. So if you are truly someone who wants to know, wants to see how beautiful life is, wants to experience that for yourself, wants to experience that with everybody else, the time is now. The only time you have is now, not your past, not your present. You will always remain in that mental prison if you keep shuttling between those two things. And Pratibha, she's a mindfulness coach in itself, so she knows the importance of being in that present moment, of understanding what mindfulness is. So reaching out to people like her, reaching out to, learning more about what is really happening with me. When you do that, when you seek guidance, that is
Yes.
when you get, you cannot hope. Don't sit and hope, honestly. I'm not a big believer of hope. I believe in going and asking and taking things
Seek support.
for, yeah, seek support, absolutely. Why
Yeah.
should you feel bad about seeking support? You are strong for seeking support. if
Yes.
if you're not seeking support, that means your ego is so fragile that you don't want anyone to know that you need help, and then no one will be able to help you also. So don't let your ego get in the way of your heart, and get in the way of your true life that you are meant to live. So I hope with that message, all of you take the learnings from this podcast very seriously, and also learn that life is beautiful, life is fun. Have a huge smile on your face. There's so many reasons to feel happy about. Keep reminding yourself of those reasons, and keep reminding others also those reasons, so that you spread that love that you're meant to do in this lifetime. So thank you so much, Pratibha, for having me here. Um, I forgot totally that I was unwell and all of that. See, it's like My body just got the capacity to be here and share all of these things with you because this thing mattered, because I'm in the vicinity of someone who is on a big mission as well, who were sharing the same, alike beautiful energies. So automatically I could not, we have been on for like what, 1.5 hours. I could not have done that, right? Yeah, but it flows. The conversation was flowing because it's coming from a place of authenticity, it's coming from a place of healing. So if you want that in your life as well, then you know, you know what is that.
Yeah. So, Nidhi, we have something more. Like, how can our listeners connect with you or learn more about your work in this field?
You can definitely connect with me on my Instagram handle, which is at the rate alchemywithnidhi, and I'm also on YouTube, so you can catch me there as well. I will be releasing a lot more videos on this topic so that you can feel more informed. And I'm also nurturing a community of my own where it's not just pre-recorded courses where you just see something and you're done with it. Every day you want to be in the environment of people who are supporting you and nurturing you. So that is what I'm committed to. So I have a community of my own where I show up every week, and we learn different concepts to evolve ourselves and continue this journey of healing, because it's not a one hit wonder kind of thing. It's not a one day thing. It's a day to day process where we keep building upon the wins of the next previous day. So yes, but that you can reach me on these handles.
So, Nidhi, thank you so much. This podcast is really very deep, and I am thinking to break down in two or three parts so that
Yeah.
you do everything, because each and every point is very important. Whatever you have mentioned here, like a lot of scientific things, spiritual things also, and I think it's a lot of takeaways from this podcast. So yes, I thought I should break this into two or three parts.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
meanwhile, I'm sure that even you will feel healed because you've gained a lot of energy here in the
Yes.
positive note, right? So I think you'll get healed very fast now.
Yes.
Yeah. Lovely to get you on our podcast, and I'm sure maybe on some other topic we can again get you after some time, right?
I would
And
love to.
one more thing, when you're talking about your story, like I was able to connect with it. So I feel there are many in this world they might be able to connect because we all are going or we all have been through dark phase, and that is very difficult where we feel that it's just we give up actually. Maybe we want to die also, right? But from
Mm-hmm.
there, we get the energy and light to come up like a phoenix, right? To rise like a phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
He has done, and not just many. Even again, we can face something which is, not of course good. But we know that we have some power that, the divine power is there, our soul
Yes.
strength is there, mental strength is there to help us, again. So I'm sure this podcast will help many. So I hope this reaches out to
Yes.
many, and many people should follow you. Of course, those, especially those who are interested, in mind, heart, coherence, right? And maybe we can do something together later. Let's see.
Absolutely. That's why I mean, I think we're stronger together. That's the whole part of when we talk about mind and heart, it's a collaboration between these two systems. Huh?
Collaboration.
So, yeah, it's the sense of collaboration between you and me and all of these other like hearted, kindred spirits and beautiful souls.
It's like
Yes, thank
leaders
you so much.
collaborate and losers compete. So let's be leaders and let's create leaders,
Mhm.
followers.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's
Absolutely.
very beautiful. And thank you so much, Nidhi, to coming on a podcast. And God bless you and get healed very fast.
Thank you. Thank you. Lovely. Lovely meeting you.
As we wrap up today's episode on mind heart coherence, remember that cultivating harmony between your mind and heart isn't just about achieving a state of balance. It's about enhancing your overall well being. Thank you for joining us on this journey to explore the powerful connection between the mind and heart. Wishing you all a coherent and harmonious week ahead. Stay blessed, stay mindful. Thank you. Take care.